How to build a diminished chord. A diminished chord can be built or constructed following a simple interval pattern or formula that I call the 3-3 formula. The 3-3 is simply the number of half steps that will be counted to get the various notes that make up the chord. Let's take C for example. If we are to build the C diminished chord, C will be our root note. The root note is simply the starting note. So since we are to form or build C diminished chord, we are starting on C, which is our root note. From our root note, we will count 3 half steps to get the next note in the chord. So from here, we go 1, 2, 3 half steps, and this takes us to E flat. From E flat, we will count another 3 half steps to get the next note in the chord. So we go 1, 2, 3, and this brings us to G flat. So for the C diminished chord, the various notes are C, E flat, and G flat. From our root note, we counted 3 half steps. 1, 2, 3, and it takes us to E flat. From E flat, we counted another 3 half steps. 1, 2, 3, and it brings us to G flat. So for the diminished chord of C, E flat, and G flat, you strike the 3 together and you have your C diminished chord. Let's take another example. Let's say we want to build the B diminished chord. B will be our root note or our starting note. So from B, we will count 3 half steps. 1, 2, 3. So this brings us to D. From D, we will count another 3 half steps. 1, 2, 3, and it takes us to F. So for the B diminished chord, we have B, D, and F. From B, which is the root note, we counted 3 half steps. 1, 2, 3, and it takes us to D. From D, we counted another 3 half steps. 1, 2, 3, and it takes us to F. So for the B diminished chord, the various notes involved are B, D, and F. You strike the 3 together and it gives you the B diminished chord. Alright, another simple way to build a diminished chord is if you already know how to form or build a major chord. What you need to do is, from your major chord of that key you intend to form the diminished chord of, you flattened the third and the fifth by a half step. This is what I mean. Let's see, this is our C, right? For the major chord of C, we have C, E, and G. Remember how we build a major chord. The formula is 4-3. From the root note, you count 4 half steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, and it brings you to E. So from E, you will count another 3 half steps. So you go 1, 2, 3, and it takes you to G. So for the C major chord, you have C, E, and G. So if we are to form the diminished chord of C from the major chord of C, what you need to do is you come to the third here. The third here. You flattened it by a half step. So a half step flattened, and it takes you to E flat. Then the fifth, which is G, you also flatten it by a half step, and it takes you to G flat. So you can see that we're having the same thing. The C, E flat, and G flat for our diminished chord from the major scale. So if you are to form the diminished chord from the major scale, what you need to do is you flattened the third and the fifth by a half step, and it will give you the diminished chord of that key that you intend to build the diminished chord of. I hope this is clearly understood. Alright, thank you so much for watching. See you again next time. Bye for now.